here. Today I will show you how I post-process this landscape long exposure photo from Mexico. It was late already, but there was still some light in the sky, and there were also some nice colors, but they are lost in this image, as you can see. Also, some parts of this image, especially this part over here and this part with foreground, is very dark. What I had to do was to capture HDR image, that is to capture several exposures, making sure that one is exposed properly for the sky, restoring colors and highlights in it, and the other properly exposed for the shadows areas of this image. Here is the one for the sky. There are some nice colors. Also, this one is correct. And here is image that is properly exposed for the shadows. Pay attention that now shadows are correctly exposed. They have correct exposure. Okay. So I will start editing by going to Develop module. I'm already here, in fact. I will leave tone and presence tabs untouched. I will also leave white balance because I quite like it. It's a shot. It's pretty warm. What I have to do is to enable profile corrections to remove any lens vignetting and also distortion. Please note how vignetting is removed and also distortion. And I will also check remove chromatic aberration. Now I have to sync all my changes so they appear in all images. Next thing to do is to right click on the images. So now what we have to do is to go to Photomatix to create HDR image and tone map it. So right click on your images, select export, Photomatix Pro, make sure to use align images. As you can see, I use handheld option. I use tripod for these images, but this option is more robust. It provides better results. I will also check show options to remove ghosts, if any. Also reduce noise, and also I will check automatically re-import into Lightroom library. This way, after I finish tone mapping my image in Photomatix Pro, it will automatically appear in my Lightroom library. Okay. Now we see the ghosting options, which allows us to preview ghost removal. Let's zoom in a little bit. I think there is just a little bit of ghosting in this area, so let's move the ghosting slider a little bit to the right to remove ghosts. Maybe a little further. Okay, I'm pretty happy, so I will click OK button. Okay, and so here is our tone mapping preview with our image already loaded. Okay. So let's first make sure you have method of contrast optimizer selected. It's one of my favorite methods in Photomatix Pro because it provides very natural looking results when used right. First thing is to go to method defaults. Okay. First of all, I really like current look of the image. However, I think it would benefit a little bit from brightening the shadows. So I will move the sliders just a little bit to the right to make the shadows brighter, more enhanced. Okay, I think it's better now. Don't move it too far, because when strength is very high, the image might look surreal. So let's keep it at rather low values. I will leave tone compression and lighting effect at their default values, also white clip. I will drag black clip a little bit to the left to restore any blacks that could be clipped, for example here or here. Okay. Okay, I will leave mid-tones, color saturation as well. Okay, and now color temperature. Color temperature can make the image cooler or warmer. In this case, it was blue hour already, so the image should have a little bit of blue cast in my opinion, so let's drag color temperature a little bit to the left. Okay, I'm fairly happy now. There's one thing I'm not really happy with regarding this image. It's the sky, especially this part here, just above the horizon. There are some ugly whites, the colors are not as I remember them. Okay, I could fiddle with the settings. There are ways to achieve a nice looking sky using contrast optimizer. However, I would like to show you one feature that not many photographers are aware of. What many photographers do is to tone map their image and then in Photoshop restore some parts of it which they think should look better in the original images. They generally blend using layer masks, and well, it's easy but it's time consuming, and you can do it directly inside Photomatix Pro. Make sure to select this selection mode checkbox and drag selection around the area you would like to restore. I would like to restore the sky as I mentioned, so I will drag the selection like this, very rough. It doesn't need to be very precise because it will be well feathered. Okay, now what you have to do is to right click inside your selection and select from the list of your photos. I will try my 0 EV photo first. Well, it's too bright, definitely it's too bright, so let's try -1. It's still too bright, but it looks better. -2 should be fine. Yes, I think it looks great, and -3 will be probably too dark, and it really is. So let's go back to -2. Okay, and we just restored part of the original exposures and blended it very quickly with the tone mapped image inside Photomatix Pro. Now I will save and re-import to go back to Lightroom. Okay, I'm back in Lightroom and my image has just appeared. It's here, it looks really nice. I'm pretty happy with what I have so far. I won't make any edits in Lightroom. I will just go to Photoshop by right clicking, edit in Adobe Photoshop CC 2014. Now here's my image in Photoshop. I'm pretty happy with what I have so far, but this image can still benefit from some small adjustments, especially to color and contrast, maybe a little bit of clarity. Okay, I will first examine noise to check if there is any. Well, image is noise free, so it doesn't require noise removal. That's good. Okay, so next thing is to add some clarity. I usually use Topaz clarity filter for that, but I like to use non-destructive workflow, so I will first convert my image to smart object by using convert for smart filters and clicking OK. With my layer converted to smart object, I can now apply any filters to it in a non-destructive way. That is, I can always go back to my original image. I will start by using Topaz clarity to apply some clarity. Okay, in Topaz clarity, let's start by dragging micro contrast to the right, sorry. To making it makes small details more pronounced. I will now also increase low contrast and I will decrease high contrast because in some areas it now looks not really good. Well, some areas still have way much of the effect, so what I will have to do is to use masking feature of Topaz clarity and mask out some of the areas, especially the sky, because I don't want it to be improved by Topaz clarity filter. let's click on the OK button then. Okay. I would like to improve also colors of the image and contrast, as I said. I will use luminance masks for that. I already have Tonic Hyper's panel open. I will start by adding some midtones contrast by selecting midtones and curves. I will hide the panel. And I will now increase the contrast by dragging both black point and white point to make the contrast stronger. It's before and it's after. The contrast is much better now. Next thing would be to make the highlights a little bit brighter, because the adjustments I made made the highlights too bright. So I will generate lights masks. Okay, and I will select bright lights, go to layers, click on the curves button, and use multiply blending mode. Now the effect is a bit too strong, so let's decrease the opacity. It's before and it's after, maybe a little bit more. Okay, I will name the layer highlights contrast and the previous one midtones contrast. Next thing to do is to apply some vibrance to make the colors more pronounced. So let's create vibrance adjustment layer and drag vibrance to the right, making the colors like blues or greens stronger. And let's name the layer global vibrance because it applies to the whole image. I will now apply some color balance layer adjustments masks to improve color balance a little bit. It will be global color balance. Okay, and let's move midtone sliders a little bit towards magenta, just a little bit, and towards blues to create nice blue hour mood. It's before and it's after. The effect isn't strong, but it's quite visible. Final thing I would like to do regarding color is to improve saturation of blues even further. So let's create new hue saturation layer, and let's go to blues and drag saturation to the right. But I don't want to affect whole image, only the areas that are already blue. So let's delete a present layer mask. Let's go to channels, blue, control click, and now create new layer mask. Let's compare how it looked before without the mask and with the mask. The area here isn't that strongly affected anymore. Blues saturation. Okay, I will increase master saturation also a little bit. I will do one more thing, which is to create make it glow layer using Tonic Hyper's panel to provide some extra glow to the colors. Well, the effect is way too strong, of course, so let's drag the opacity down. It's before and it's after. Okay, I'm happy with what I have now. One more thing is to apply some sharpening. So let's create new layer from your existing layers by Ctrl Alt Shift E. Name it Sharpening or Detail, because I will use filter Topaz Detail 3. Let's zoom into 100 and let's drag small details to the right. As you probably can see, it also made the noise stronger, so let's decrease small details boost to the left for its after. Small details boost is always a good way to decrease any noise if there is any in your image. Let's also increase medium details a little bit, not too much. Let's compare how it looked before and after. Okay, I'm happy with what I have now, so let's click on the OK button. It's before sharpening and it's after. I will also decrease opacity a little bit to make the effect a little weaker, because I think I over sharpened a little bit. Let's move it to, let's say, 60%. It's how it looks after and before. I think it looks pretty nice. Okay, so let's view whole image. It's the finished image. I'm pretty happy with the colors that I achieved in this image, as well as the contrast. I hope you liked this episode, and until next time.